functions. Is my voice clear for everybody? Is my voice clear for everybody? Confirm in the chat box. Yes, perfect. Good. Now, so first one, what is identifier in the Java? Identifiers in Java. Guys, whenever we are working with Java programming language, we are going to create a class. We are going to create a class. First, we have seen that package will be available. Then import statements will be available. Package statement will be available. Import statements will be available. Class will be available. Variable will be available. And the methods will be available. So like this we are going to work with packages, import statements, classes, variables and the methods in Java. All these components, package requires a name, class requires a name, variable requires a name, method also requires name. All Java components requires some name. Whatever the components you are writing, all the Java components requires a name. If you are declaring a variable, we are declaring variable as int age. Age is a variable name. Suppose if you are creating a class hello, hello is a name. Hello is a name. So whenever we are creating a package, or when you are creating a class, when you are creating a variable, when we are creating a method, all Java components requires a name. The name that we are using for the Java components is called as identifier. What is a identifier? Identifier means the name that we are using for variables, the name that we are using for methods, the name that we are using for class is called as identifier. The name which we are using, for packages or variables, classes and methods is called as identifier. Are you guys able to understand what is a identifier? We are working with Java programming language. In the Java programming language, we need to work with the classes, we need to work with the variables, we need to work with the methods, and we need to work with the packages. So if I want to declare a variable, we already discussed about variables. Variables are used to store the data. To store the data into a variable, we need to specify data type. If we want to create a class requires some name. If you want to create a method, main method we are writing. Main is the name of the method. Here logic will be available. Here components will be available. Code will be available here. Variable requires some name. Class requires some name. Method also requires some name. The name which we are using for packages, variables, classes and methods is called as identifier. Okay, so to write the identifiers, there are some rules given by Java to work with the identifiers. Java provided few rules to work with identifiers. Sir, can I use any name for the class? Can I use any name for the class? Yes, you can use any name for the class, but there are some rules provided by Java. We need to understand those rules. The name which we are using for packages, or variables, or classes and methods is called as identifier. Java provided few rules to work with identifiers. Sir, what are the rules available to work with identifier? The first rule is the only allowed characters for identifier are below. Java will allow only below characters for identifiers. So the first one is, it will allow characters from A to Z. All the lowercase characters from A to Z is accepted for identifier name. All the uppercase characters from A to Z is allowed, and it is going to allow all the numbers from 0 to 9. All the numbers from 0 to 9 it will accept. Coming to special characters, underscore is allowed and a dollar symbol is also allowed. Only these characters are allowed for identifiers. So this is dollar. Okay. So here, whenever we are writing a program, you need to use some identifiers. All Java components requires some name. So the name that we are using for the component is called as identifier. Sir, how to use these identifiers? There are some rules provided by Java. The rule 1, Java will allow only below characters for identifiers. You can use any character from A to Z, both lowercase characters and uppercase characters. You can use any number from 0 to 9. You can use any number from 0 to 9. The special symbols, dollar is allowed, underscore is allowed. Underscore is allowed. Okay guys, now for example, if I take name, is it a valid identifier or is it an invalid identifier guys? I'm taking name. Is it a valid or it is invalid? Can you guys tell me? Is it valid or it is invalid? Name. I'm taking name here. Name is valid or name is invalid? Name is valid. Name is valid. If I am taking name at the rate, is it valid or is it invalid? If I take a variable name as name at the rate, is it valid or it is invalid? Why it is invalid? At the rate symbol is allowed in the Java or at the rate symbol is not allowed in the Java? At the rate symbol is not allowed in the Java. So this is invalid. This is invalid. Can I take age like this? Can I take a variable name as age ash? Can I take it as a age ash? Age ash is a valid or it is a invalid? That is also invalid because ash is not accepted. Ash is not accepted. Special symbols only, dollar is accepted and underscore is accepted. At the rate is not accepted. Ash also not accepted in the identifier. That is the first rule. That is the first rule. So whenever you are working with Java identifiers, you need to follow this first rule. Only these characters are allowed, remaining all characters are not allowed. So this is valid, this is invalid. So only first one valid, second one, third one, both are invalid. Okay, next, what is the second rule? What is the second rule? Identifier should not start with a digit. Identifier should not start with the digit. The first character should not be the digit. First character should not be digit. First character should not be digit. So whenever you are taking one age or one age, is it valid or is it invalid in Java? Is it valid? Is it invalid in Java? I'm writing a variable name age. Age starting with character 1 or number 1. Identifier should not start with a digit. So this will become invalid. If I take like this, if I take like this age 2, is it valid or is it invalid? Age 2 I am taking. 2. 2 is allowed, 0 to 9 any number is allowed. Only first character should not be digit. So first character should not be digit. This is invalid. But this is valid. This is valid. This is valid. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? What is the first rule? Java will allow only these characters for the identifiers. What is the second one? Identifier should not start with a digit. One age, it is invalid. Age 2, it is valid. If I take it like this, if I take it like this, name 3, is it valid or is it invalid? Name 3, valid or invalid? It is valid. First character should be alphabet. After that it can be anything, right? So here first digit should not be digit. So here first character is alphabet, so it is a valid. Once it is alphabet, then you can use anything. And the next one, and the third rule in the Java identifiers, Java reserved words should not be used as identifier. Java reserved words should not be used as identifier. In Java there are 53 reserved words are available. In the Java there are 53 reserved words available. Are you guys getting my point? How many words are reserved by Java? Simple one. If you want to go from Hyderabad to Bangalore, you reserved a bus ticket. If you reserve a bus ticket, can anybody use the same seat? If you reserve the seat, can anybody use the same seat? No, it is not possible, right? So we are doing advanced booking. So seat number 23, you reserved. When you reserve that bus ticket, but that particular seat, nobody else can use that. Nobody else can book the same seat in the bus. So similarly, in the Java, they have reserved 53 words. Those 53 words are called as Java reserved words. Yesterday, I have given one image in the WhatsApp group. Did you guys check that image? What are the reserved words available in the Java? Yesterday I have given you one image. So that image represents all the Java reserved words, guys. So total, how many reserved words available in Java now? Can you look at this? How many reserved words available in Java? 53 reserved words are available. Those are called as keywords in the Java. So total there are 53 keywords available in Java. Those are also called as reserved words. When it comes to the data type, byte, short, char, int, long, float, double, boolean, 8 keywords are used for data types. 8 keywords available for data types. So similarly, when it comes to the flow controls, our next topic is control statements, operators, control statements available. Our unit 2 is related to control statements. So when it comes to the control statements, here there are some keywords are reserved by Java. If, else, do, while, for, switch, case, default, break, continue, return. These are the keywords used by Java. In the OOPS concepts, we are going to discuss about the modifiers: public, private, protected, static, final, abstract, synchronized, strict FP, native, transient, volatile. When it comes to the exception handling in the Java, some keywords are reserved: try, catch, finally, throw, throws, assert. There are some keywords available for exception handling. When we are working with the classes, we will use a keyword called package keyword. We will use import keyword. We will use a class keyword. We will use interface keyword. We will use extends keyword. We will use implements keyword. These are related to class component. These keywords are related to class component. When it comes to the object, so in the OOPS we are going to work with the classes and objects, right? When it comes to the object, there are 4 keywords are reserved for objects: super keyword, this keyword, new keyword, instance of keyword. Like that, there are 4 keywords available. And some miscellaneous keywords are available: void, method return type, enum for data types, true, false, null. Like that, there are some other keywords also available. And there are 2 keywords available in the Java which we are not going to use: constant to represent a constant, constant keyword is available and goto is available. These are two keywords we are not going to use in the Java, but those are reserved keywords. So total there are 53 reserved words available in the Java. So from these 53 we cannot use anything as an identifier. So what I mean to say is, can I declare my variable like this? Int byte is equal to 20. Can I use byte as a variable name? Variable name nothing but identifier. Can I use byte as a identifier? Data type and variable name. Data type is integer, variable name is byte. Can I use byte as a variable name now? Why I cannot use byte as a variable name? Byte is a reserved word. Byte is a reserved word. Invalid because byte is a reserved word. Byte is a reserved word. Okay. Now similarly, can I declare a variable? Byte variable name. Byte for is equal to 25. Can I use a for as a identifier? Invalid because for is a reserved word. Because for is a reserved word. Are you guys getting my point? Int try is equal to 30. Can I use int try is equal to 30? Is it valid or invalid? Invalid because try is a reserved word. So how many reserved words available in Java? So total how many reserved words available in the Java, guys? How many reserved words available in Java? So total there are 53 reserved words available in the Java. So total there are 53 reserved words available in the Java. So could you please read all the reserved words? You need to remember their names because we should not use these names for our components. I'm giving 2 minutes of time. All of you please read all the 53 reserved words available in the Java. I have given the list of all the 53. 2 minutes of time, read everything. So whenever you are writing an identifier, you should not use these names. These are not allowed. Whenever we are writing an identifier, we should not use these names. For class name or for variable name or for method name or for the package name, we should not use these keywords. These are reserved words by Java. Officially they reserved these words. We cannot use these words for our identifier. Identifier means the name that we are using for a class or for a variable or for a method. Are you guys reading that? I have already shared it in the WhatsApp group, the screenshot. Reading. Read once again, guys. You need to remember these names because we should not use these names. You can use any name for a identifier apart from these 53. These are officially reserved. Java reserved these words. Java reserved these words. हम इसको use नहीं कर सकते. We cannot use these things. Finally is available here. Finally is available here. Finally is available and finally is available. Difference between final, finally, finalize we'll discuss in the coming classes. Finally is a keyword. Finally is also a keyword. Completed, guys? Is it completed? Finalized is not a keyword. Finalized is a method in the Java. That is not a keyword. Final is a keyword. Finally is a keyword. Final is a keyword. Finalize is a keyword. Final, finally, both are keywords. Finalized is a method that we will discuss in the coming sessions. Now, all these Java reserved words can be classified. Okay, so these are reserved words in the Java. How many reserved words available in the Java, guys? Total there are 53 reserved words available in the Java. These 53 reserved words are again divided into keywords and literals. These are divided into keywords and literals. So there are reserved literals. Literals nothing but values that we are storing. So there are 3 reserved literals are available, and the remaining 50 are keywords. Okay, remaining 50 are keywords. Coming to reserved literals, literal nothing but the value that we are storing. True is one reserved literal, false is one reserved literal, null is one reserved literal. And coming to keywords, again keywords are divided into 2 types. One is used keywords. Used keywords are 48. Unused keywords are 2. Used keywords are 48, and unused keywords are 2. Got my point? So like this, they have segregated all the reserved words available in the Java. Okay, used keywords that we have seen already. We have seen that if will be available, else will be available, for will be available, int will be available, boolean will be available, etc. So there are 48 keywords are used. What are the 2 unused keywords available? Unused keywords, go to is one unused keyword, constant is one unused keyword in the Java. Okay, guys. So reserved keywords are available. Reserved words are available. Reserved words are divided into 2 types. So first one is keywords and the second one is literal. First one is keyword and the second one is literal. So total there are 50 keywords available and 3 reserved literals are available. Reserved literal nothing but the value that we are storing. Literal means value. Identifier means name. Now again, these keywords are divided into 2 types. So 48 keywords are used keywords and 2 keywords are unused keywords. Like this we can segregate reserved words in the Java. So total there are 53 reserved words available in the Java. So the 53 reserved words are divided into mainly 2 categories. First one is called as keywords, second one is called as literals. Keywords and literals. So literals are 3, true, false and null. Keywords are 50. The 50 keywords are divided into 2 parts. Used keywords, unused keywords. Used keywords are 48. Unused keywords are 2. What are those 2 which are unused keywords? Go to is one unused keyword. Constant is one unused keyword. Why? Because instead of constant in the Java, they have provided final. Final is the replacement for the constant. If you want to declare any constant variable, we can use final. And go to keyword is available in the other programming languages, which is making the programmers confused. So that's why that go to is removed in the Java, but it is a reserved word in the Java. We cannot use it. for the identifier. Look at this diagram. How the classification has done. 53 reserved words are divided into two parts, keywords and literals. Keywords are 50, literals are 3. 50 keywords are again divided into two types, used keywords 48, unused keywords 2. Used keywords if, else, for, int, boolean, like that, so many keywords are there. Unused keywords 2, go to, constant, like that, there are unused keywords are available. Unused keywords are 2, go to and constant. Literals, true, false, null, these are the reserved literals. So we cannot use these things for our identifier. We cannot use these identifiers. Are you guys clear with the 3 rules? What is the first rule of the identifier and what is the identifier in the Java? All Java components requires a name. Class requires a name, method requires a name, variable requires a name. So whenever we are writing the names, we need to follow some rules. The name that we are writing is called as identifier. The first rule, the Java identifier can have only these characters. Identifier can have only these characters. Apart from these, any other character is not accepted. And the second one, identifier should not start with a digit. First character should not be a digit. First character should not be a digit. And Java reserved words should not be used as identifiers. 53 reserved words available in the Java. 53 reserved words available in the Java. Now if you see here, I'm going to take a long phone number. Long phone number is equal to some value. Is it valid or it is invalid? I'm storing long phone number. Is it valid or it is an invalid identifier? Phone number is a valid or phone number is not valid? Phone number is a reserved word in the Java or phone number is not a reserved word in the Java? Phone number is a reserved word in the Java or phone number is not a reserved word in the Java? It is not a reserved word in the Java. So if I use a long phone number, is it valid or it is invalid? Is it valid? Is it valid or it is invalid? It is valid. It is valid. Are you guys clear with this? Next, coming to rule number 4. Java is case sensitive language. Java is case sensitive language. Java is a case sensitive language. Okay. So now here, when I use name and name, both are not same. Name and name, both are not same. So this also we need to remember when we are writing identifiers. When we are writing identifiers, we need to remember this part also. When we are writing identifier, we need to remember this part also. If you write one variable with lowercase characters and another variable with uppercase characters, both are not same, both are different. Both are different. So these are the rules that we need to follow when we are working with identifiers in the Java. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Identifiers in the Java. Shall I move on to the next topic now? Shall I move on to the next topic now? Yes. Do you want to read the notes once again? Yeah, if you want, you can read. I will give 2 minutes of time. Identifiers. All Java components requires some name. For the variable, we need a name. All Java components requires a name. Variables need a name. For variables, for classes, and for methods, we need a name. We need a name. The name which we are using for packages, variables, classes, and methods is called as identifier. We can use any name for the identifier, but Java provided few rules to work with the identifier. We can use we can use any name for identifier. We can use any name for identifiers, but Java provided, but we need to follow below rules to work with identifiers. We need to follow below rules to work with identifiers. Who provided these rules? These rules I am deciding. Are these rules decided by Java? Who decided these rules, guys? I am deciding these rules. Are Java? Java. What is the rule 1? Only these characters are allowed. Only these characters are allowed. Okay. And first character should not be digit. Java reserved words should not be used as identifier. How many reserved words available in Java? There are 53 reserved words available in the Java. I have given the cheat sheet for the 53 reserved words. 53 reserved words available. Those 53 reserved words are categorized like this. Okay. And the next one. Lowercase letter and uppercase letter both are not same. Here phone number is a identifier. Long is a data type. Long is a data type. Phone number is a identifier. That's why this is valid. Here try is a reserved word. For is a reserved word. Byte is a reserved word. That's why these three are invalid. Phone number is a name, identifier. Data type is long. Variable data type, variable name. That's why it is valid. Java is a case sensitive language. Lowercase letters variable name, uppercase letters variable name, both are not same. Not same. Are you guys clear with my point? Now, and somebody is asking, sir, when I am writing a variable, for example, let me take one Java class. So when I am writing a variable, can I use white space? Can I use a white space for the variable name? So let us take one example. Now, I'm taking one Java class here. In this Java class, I'm writing integer one name. Integer one name. Guys, observe carefully. When I take integer one name, is it allowing me? Is it allowing me? It is showing the error immediately. It is showing me the error immediately. So now I'm taking name. Name 1, it is allowing me. Name at the rate. Is it accepting at the rate? See here, invalid. Now I am using name first space name. I'm using first space name. So when I'm writing a variable, is it accepting the white spaces? Is it accepting the white spaces? No. White spaces are not allowed. So let me make it as another rule. Here, spaces are not allowed in identifiers. Not allowed in identifiers. Now for example, integer first space name is equal to Ashok. So it is invalid. This is invalid. This is invalid. Okay. Sorry. This is invalid. Integer, or else I can say mobile bill. Integer mobile space bill is equal to 400. Invalid. Mobile space bill. I cannot use two things here. If you want to do like this, then what you need to do? Into mobile underscore bill is equal to 400. This is valid. This is valid. You can use underscore for the variable name. When you cannot write the space like this. Spaces are not allowed in the identifiers. Spaces are not allowed in the identifiers. Java is case sensitive language. Now, if you see here, if I am writing int mobile bill, is it allowing me? No. It is invalid. I can write the same thing like this, int mobile underscore bill. So mobile underscore bill, this is valid name, but this is invalid. Spaces are not accepted. Spaces are not accepted. So that is another rule. Spaces are not allowed in the identifiers. Java is a case sensitive language. Lowercase letter and uppercase letters both are not same. Both are not same. Can we use a dollar as a first character? So people are asking, can we use a dollar as a first character? Now, am I able to use it? Am I able to use the dollar as a first character? And can I use long bill? Underscore bill, can I use like this? Underscore bill, can I use like this? Is it valid? First character should not be digit. First character should not be digit. Dollar is accepted, underscore is also accepted. And can I use byte at the rate? Can I use byte at the rate amount? Is it valid? No. At the rate is not accepted first of all. What are the special characters are accepted? Only dollar is accepted, underscore is accepted. At the rate is not at all accepted. At the rate character itself is not accepted in the Java. So we cannot use that. First character can be dollar or it can be underscore. If I take a digit for the first position, it is not accepted. It is not accepted. So these are the rules for the identifiers. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3, Rule 4 and Rule 5. Clear guys? Is this clear? Can I use a dollar and underscore at the first position? Can I use a dollar and underscore at the first position? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. What is the rule for the first character? First character should not be digit. First character should not be digit. We should not use the number. You can use any alphabet. From the special characters you can use dollar or underscore. Dollar or underscore. So if I take like this, is it valid? Underscore name, it is valid. And if I take dollar name, it is also valid. If I take at the rate name, it is invalid. Right guys? Underscore is valid, dollar is valid, at the rate this character itself is not accepted in the Java. That's why it is invalid. Invalid. Perfect guys. Somebody is asking, can we use a dollar and underscore both at a time? Yes, why not? Dollar underscore. This is also valid. Dollar and underscore both you can use at a time. No problem. Both you can use at a time. There is no problem. You can use this. This is also valid. This is also valid. Got it? Good. So I think we are clear with identifiers in the Java. Next one. Guys, the next part is Java naming conventions. Some people will also call it as Java coding conventions. Some people will call it as Java naming conventions and some people will call it as Java coding conventions. Now, we have seen the rules. We have seen the rules. Okay. So someone is asking, sir, in the documentation comments we are writing @ symbol. In the Java, @ is not accepted. Then how you are using @ symbol? So in the documentation comment, we can use it. Commented means compiler will not consider that. Commented means compiler will not. not consider that now. That's why when I am writing a documentational comments, I can use will not be considered by compiler, will not considered by JVM. Commented in the commented code, whatever you write, they will not consider it is. They will ignore code. Commented code will not be considered by compiler, will not considered by JVM. Commented in the commented code, whatever you write, they will not consider it is. They will ignore it. They will ignore it. So in the comments you can keep anything. We need to understand that identifier means that which we are using in the program. Which we are using in the program. Okay, fine. So identifier means the name. For the identifiers, there are some rules available and we have to follow those rules. Next one, Java naming conventions. Java provided some naming conventions to follow while working with Java language. We are using names, identifiers we are using, package names we are using, class names we are using, package names we are using, class names we are using and all. Somebody is asking underscore 1 is valid or not. You think, man, you think it. So if I take like this, is it valid or not? It's valid only. What is the first character is underscore. After only first character should not be the digit. Here digit is a second character. It is accepted. Why it will not accept it? Underscore is the first character. Underscore is accepted. Second character onwards, it can be anything. It can be anything. This is also valid. This is also valid. Underscore 1 bill. It is valid. It is valid. Let me write it. Underscore is the first character. Valid. Okay. Fine. Chalo. Good. Next one, Java naming conventions. Sir, what is the meaning of Java naming conventions? What is the meaning of Java naming conventions? Java naming conventions means some of the best practices. The first thing is Java has provided some standards. Java language followed some standards for predefined classes, for predefined packages, classes and methods. Java language suggested Java programmers also to follow same standards. Okay, so in the Java language there are so many predefined packages available and so many predefined classes available and so many predefined methods available. So we are using Java language which is developed by Sun Microsystem. In this Java language there are so many predefined packages available, predefined classes available, predefined methods available. So these Java people followed some standards, conventions, naming conventions they followed for predefined packages, classes and methods. Java language suggested Java programmers also to follow same standards. So following the standards is not mandatory. Following these standards is not mandatory but highly recommended. Identifier rules are mandatory. You have to follow. There is no option. Identifiers means some rules are available. You need to follow those rules. There is no option. But when it comes to naming conventions, Java is a language developed by Sun Microsystem. In the Java language, there are so many predefined packages available, predefined classes available, predefined methods available. In future, we are going to create our own packages. We are going to create our own classes. We are going to create our own methods. We are going to create our own packages. We are going to create our own classes, and we are going to create our own methods. Now, for the Java, for these things, those people followed, Sun Microsystem followed some standards. And they told the Java people also to follow the same standards. Sir, these standards are mandatory or these standards are optional? These standards are optional. These standards are not mandatory, but these standards are recommended. So what is the recommendation they have given for that? Class name. So for the class name, they have given some standard. Naming convention for class. Naming convention for class name. So what those two people told that is, here guys, whatever the conventions that we are discussing, these are not mandatory, but highly recommended. Naming convention for the class name. Naming convention for the class name. Every word in the class name, a class name can contain any number of words without space. A class name can contain any number of words without spaces. A class name can contain any number of words without any spaces. Recommended to write every word first letter as uppercase. Recommended to write every word first letter as uppercase. Recommended to write every word first letter as uppercase. For example, writing class hello. Here hello is a class name. Hello is a class name. There is only one word available. So the first character of the word we are making as capital. So that is the recommended approach. You can write like this also. This is also valid. This is the identifier. You can use any name for the identifier. Identifier rules I am following. There should not be any special character apart from underscore and dollar. And we should not start first character with the digit. We should not use reserved words for the identifier name. There is no white space available. These are all the identifier rules I have followed. And they are telling that whenever we are writing a class name, so you can write a class name with any number of words. Recommended to write every word first letter as uppercase. Every word first letter or first character as uppercase. Suppose we are using hello. This is also valid and this is also valid. Writing the first character as uppercase is recommended. Similarly, I can write a class with a hello world. Hello world. Hello world is a single class name. There is no space available. This is my identifier. I am following all the rules of the identifier. Recommended to write every word first character as uppercase. Hello is one word, world is one word. In the hello, H is uppercase. In the world, W is uppercase. Suppose for example, if I am taking the class name as user management service. If I am taking the class name as user management service. So now if you take user is one word, management is one word, service is one word. In every word, I am writing first character as a uppercase. So this is recommended convention for the class names. Recommended. But is it mandatory? Is it mandatory to write like this? Or is it recommended approach? Is it mandatory? Is it mandatory or is it recommended convention? Recommended. Now you see, in my project there are so many classes I have. There are so many classes I have. Can you see, here I am taking welcome REST controller. You see, welcome REST controller. Can you see the class name that I am using now? Welcome is one word, REST is one word, controller is one word. Okay, this is my class name. This is my class name. So do you understand what is the naming convention for the classes? So Java language class names, predefined classes will follow the same convention, and Sun Microsystem told us also to follow the same convention. It is recommended. It is highly recommended to follow the same convention. Java already following that. Java already following that. And they told us to follow the same convention. If you have single word, write the first character as uppercase. If you have 2 words, 3 words, every word first character is uppercase. Now I told you here recommended. It's not mandatory. Now you see, previously we developed some programs. Previously we developed our programs. Welcome.java. What is the class name I am using? Welcome. I'm using W as a uppercase. That is recommended. That is recommended. Now see here, I'm going to create another class, new text document. I'm using demo.java. I'm using demo.java. So I'm going to write class demo. I'm going to write a class demo. Is it valid or it is not valid? Guys, is my program is valid or my program is not valid? My program is valid. Okay. System.out.println welcome to Java. Here class name is starting with uppercase character, class name starting with lowercase character. Lowercase character. But is it recommended to do like this? Not recommended, but still it is valid. But still it is valid. You see, Java C space demo.java. I'm able to compile Java C space demo. I'm able to run. But that is not the recommended convention for the name. Writing small d for the class name is not recommended. It is not recommended. So now you understand what is the naming convention for? What is the naming convention recommended for the classes? What is the naming convention that is recommended for the classes? Are you able to understand this, guys? Are you able to understand this? Okay. Next one, naming convention for variables. Variables naming convention. Variables naming convention. Class name naming convention we understood. What is the naming convention for the class name? Every word first character uppercase. Recommended to write every word first character as uppercase, like this. Variables naming convention. When it comes to variables naming convention, a variable name can have any number of words. Variable name can have any number of words. Any number of words. Variable naming convention can have any number of words. Okay. Variable names should start with lowercase. Recommended to start variable name with lowercase letter. Variable name can have any number of words. Recommended to start variable name with lowercase letter. If variable name contains multiple words, then recommended to write from second word onwards. From second word onwards, every first character in uppercase. Variable name contains multiple words. If a variable name contains multiple words, then recommended to write from first character as uppercase from second word. Recommended to write. Variable name can contain any number of words, and first word all characters in the lowercase. If variable name contains multiple words, then recommended to write first word all characters in lowercase, and from second word onwards, every word first character in uppercase. This is the recommendation. See this? Variables naming convention. Variable name can have any number of words. Recommended to start variable name with lowercase. If variable name contains multiple words, then recommended to write first word all characters in lowercase, and from second word onwards every word first character in uppercase. Simple like this. Int age, one word is there. Okay. Recommended to start variable name with lowercase letter. I have taken with the lowercase letter. All the characters are in the lowercase because only one word is available. For example, if I have integer user age, you can write like this. But what is the recommendation? User is one word, age is another word. So first word all characters in the lowercase. From second word onwards every word first character in uppercase. User one word all lowercase. Second word onwards every first character uppercase, capital A. User age. So this is the naming convention. For example, if you are having a credit card number, how can we write like this? Long. Credit is one word, card is one word,